I'm glad the next opportunity given me to introduce to you your president.
Babu want to become president. Who still want to become president. Obi Dosa want to become president. President Yusi want to become president. Mr. Krede want to become president. Mr. Lalame want to become president. President Iwesi, Mr. Roro want to become president. But now the president is new with me. We're suffering for some more. Mr. Lala want to become president. President Yusi want to become president. Mr. become president. People will not agree. Let me tell you something. When you want to become president with Lala, they will come and say, as the president of the Republic of Liberia, I thank you people for introducing me as the president. Power the presence in me as the president of the Republic of Liberia. I'm going to make sure I will bring the respect down. I want to pour all the fear of president. I want to bring the excellent president.
Hey, folks. Welcome. It's Friday. Friday. Yeah, Friday. Welcome to Friday. Politics. You know, this is the day everybody get to relax, even at your workplaces. Those of us who normally go to work on Fridays, we are more relaxed. Easy dressing, dress code, just chill out, and not a whole lot is done, especially for Liberians. Not a whole lot is done on Fridays, when it comes to Friday work, because it's almost weekend. The weekend fever is here, it's gearing in. That's what happens. The weekend is on. My weekend on, y'all. Everybody that joining us today. So welcome to the show. Today we're just gonna be talking anything. Now that especially we have elections are about to officially resume tomorrow, the 5th of August, 2023. Elections are about to start. So I'd like to welcome you to the show. We want to delve into the issue as elections officially begins tomorrow. What are you to expect? There's so much that you are going to expect this coming election in Liberia. Liberia's elections officially about to start tomorrow, right? So that is why that is what we're going to be talking about. And what is your criteria for the kind of leader that you want for the nation of Liberia? Just get ready, because as election opens up tomorrow, you are going to get bombarded with information, so much information, fake information, truthful information, everything, whatever you think is going to be coming to you, bombarded with information. The bag of rice will be coming around Money will start flowing around beginning tomorrow. You haven't seen anything yet because so far election hasn't officially started. But now that elections are about to start officially tomorrow, folks, there's a lot. And just like Sonny God said, everybody wants to become president. Just share the link, share the platform while you watch the show. I have so much interesting information, interesting news to share with you guys, you know. But share the link while I play Sonny God one more time. Please share the link. All right. Everybody want to be president in that little tiny country. Everybody. Carlos said want to be president.
You know, he said if you want to tell me, say president will tell money you tell me president. Don't take up become president. And I can say, Liberia will so do. When the president today, it will start and say, I'm measured. Bring down Moldova and bear you new Moldova. I'm going to make sure I'm not going to steal the government money. I'm going to make sure someone get their back pay. I'm the president want to make sure that the AFL going to be paid in 2 weeks. I'm going to make sure students going to get 12 buses. I'm going to make sure the children get set. I'm going to buy two plastic bags for them to poo inside. Babu, you see want to become president? Mr. President want to become president. Mr. Dongo want to become president. Lala want to become president. Jerry Baker want to become president. You know, he said, we're suffering in Liberia. Listen to the speech. As a president of the Republic of Liberia, I'm going to make sure I'm going to electrify the city one day time. As a president of the Republic, I'm going to drive the whole of the sea and bury people as the belly. Republic of West Wind going to be an active. Mr. President, become president. Mr. Lala want to become president. Mr. Roro want to become president. Mr. Rocket become president.
Okay, folks. Welcome to the show. Welcome to Talk TV Media Network. My name is Sam Gadu. I am the host here today. The biggest question on the floor today is, what are you going to expect? What is your expectation when it comes to the elections that are about to open officially tomorrow? So welcome to the show, folks. This is where we discuss it. Information, independent, free, fair, unbiased. You know, it's interesting to realize that as human beings, I normally tell people every human being is a political animal. Every human being, there is some sort of politics in you. You play politics at home with your wife and kids. Politics is about give and take. That's all there is. Convincing someone about something, ideologies, you know, ways of thought, ways of doing things. So politics, you just play it every day. Each and every one of us play politics every day. But sometimes as professionals of this industry, this institution, what we do is we try to balance the stories. We balance information because we know the importance of this mic, how important it is. You can lie so much and sway away from the truth and draw a lot of people in areas, in places where you're not supposed to draw them. So I would say, number one, the media has a very significant role to play when it comes to the politics of Liberia. The media has a very, very important role to play, especially this election, right? The propaganda, we're going to hear, you're going to hear so much propaganda. But if we can maturely and fairly use our different platforms, our media entities, for the sake of the country, for the sake of truth, there is so much we can benefit out of, because there will be so much information flow into the country, so much information flow. Because the reason is why you need to be very eloquent, very, very knowledgeable about that is the media is already being stifled one way or the other by the ruling establishment. Politics, we understand. Remember, I told you from the onset that politics plays a very vibrant role in every individual's life. Major media institutions like Spoon and other institutions, have been shut down already because of politics, because they don't want the voice for the voiceless to go out there. They don't want people in the hinterland, the country parts of it, to be able to be heard. So this is why politics, this medium is very, very important. All of you following us. Hey, my boy out there, man, all the way in Bon County, Panume. Welcome to the show. Let me see all of y'all that are joining me before I get into this. All of y'all need to be on this show here talking. I know y'all scared to talk. Maybe like, what happened here? Oh, welcome to the show, guys. Emmanuel. My nephew over there. You see, elections about to start officially. You see, the CEO himself is in his uniform, majestically, like one of my boys normally say, majestically seated. Jasper normally say majestically seated here in studio today to talk nothing but politics, because that is what we're about to see. Campaign is about to officially open in Liberia. What's your take? The lines are open. You can call in. The number is 539-525-1552. It is scrolling at the bottom of the screen right there. You can see it. You can call in that number if you have a WhatsApp number, or those of you here based here in the US, United States, can call that number as well. So you can call in, take part. If you need to come on the show, let me know. I will open the link, because today is open mic. Anybody can come on the show. Once you send me an invitation or a request, I will just send you the link and you join me. It's an hour show, folks. There is something that JFK, John F. Kennedy, said one time in one of his inaugural speeches, and I'm gonna bring it up. Right? I'm gonna bring it up just for you to know before I delve into the issues tonight. John F. Kennedy said this. He said, "Ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country." It is on this statement, on this quotation, I am basing my premise today on this show. As in, ask not what your country can do for you. Rather, ask what you can do for your country, Mama Liberia. What do you have in store? What can you give to the nation of Liberia? As a citizen of Liberia, what can you give to that nation? Let me play that video. Let me play that script before I expatiate on this.
And so, my fellow Americans, ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country. My fellow citizens of the world, ask not what America will do for you, but what together we can do for the freedom of man. First of all, let me assert my firm belief that the only thing, and so
I'm going to replay that one more time, because there's a special message I'm trying to send. There is a special message I'm trying to send. So bear with me. Listen one more time. Let me play it one more time.
Fellow Americans, ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country. My fellow citizens of the world, ask not what America will do for you, but what together we can do for the freedom of man.
That's it. That's it. So the biggest question is, we have 20 aspirants vying for the position of the presidency. 20 aspirants, political aspirants vying for the position of the presidency for a nation that is only 43,000 square miles. 43,000 square miles. That's it. Now, the question that John F. Kennedy asked is this in his inaugural speech to the United States of America and the world is, what are you bringing on the table for your country instead of what your country is bringing to the table? What are you bringing to the table as a citizen, as a steward of the nation of Liberia? What do you have in store? What are you bringing to the table for the nation of Liberia? Because the nation of Liberia, the country, already has what it takes. But what are you bringing to the table? This question and this quotation by John F. Kennedy is very deep, very enlightening if you give it a thought, right? Very enlightening. The thing is, what do you have? When you have people who are vying for positions in government, who are poor, they have nothing to give to the country, they're trying to find their way into government to steal, to embezzle, to steal from taxpayers, from the masses. Is that what you have for your country? Is that what you have to give for your nation? Ask not what your country can do for you, but what can you do for your country? What is your purpose? What is your intention for running or vying for a position, a senatorial position? What is your intention for running for a ministerial position? What is your intention for running for a superintendent position? What is your intention for running for the highest office of the land? What is your intention? You have to clear and specify that in the first place before you get into the race. Without that, you lose focus. Life comes with purpose. Life comes with a purpose that is written, a purpose, a goal that is written, a goal that is adhered to, that this is the target, this is the agenda, this is my vision. It is not just the president that's supposed to have the vision or the agenda for the country. If you are appointed as a senator, as a superintendent, as a minister, you have to have an agenda because you are a public servant who is coming into office. What is your vision for that ministry that you are running, that you have been given the opportunity to serve? What is your vision? What are your goals? How can you make it one of the best ministry in the country among all the other ministries? How can you make that county, one of the best counties among all the other counties in Liberia? That is your goal. That should be your purpose, your vision as a superintendent. That is it, folks. That should be your goal. But we lose sight as politicians. Politicians tend to lose sight because of greed, self-aggrandizement, misappropriation of government funds, and they go with impunity, no due process of law. And the very people that they are stealing from, the very people empathize and sympathize for them. The scripture says, for the lack of knowledge, my people perish. For the lack of knowledge, the nation is doomed. The nation perish. When are we going to learn this? As a nation, as a people. Look around your community. Look around the society you live in. As a big shot working in government, are you happy? Are you satisfied? That community you live in, you are the only one with electricity 24/7. Are you happy? You are the only one who has the nicest house or biggest house in that community. As a leader, are you happy? You are the only one who has the finest and most beautiful car in that community, while others struggle and walk distances to go. Taxpayers, those who deserve at least the basic human services. Are you happy as a leader? When you are given the opportunity to serve your country, it is a benevolent position that you have given. It is with utmost humility that you should accept that position and know that your service is not to yourself, it is to the Liberian people. It is to your country. Not many people are given that opportunity to serve their country, you know. Not many people. Not many people. But those vying for this position, officially, the time begins tomorrow. What kind of message or messages are you going to disseminate out there? What kind of messages do you have for the people, for those communities that you dwell in, that you live in? What kind of messages? What type of integrity are you bringing to the table? Because it has to be with integrity. Running a nation is integrity. These are agencies, these are institutions that require integrity, honesty. They require that. Normally people say change start from the top down. Others say from the bottom up. But change start everywhere. It is not just the president's responsibility out there. Yes, it begins. He sets the tone. But that ministry that you are running, that agency that you are overseeing, until the president comes and runs that agency for you before you can clear it out of corruption, before you can do something good. No, folks, we have to learn better. We have to know better. Integrity matters. Integrity matters. If we as civilians and citizens of Mama Liberia bring integrity to the table, to our various institutions, the country will thrive. The country will do vibrantly, very, very fast in the next 4 or 5 years. It's very much so possible. We need to do that. We need to do that. We need to do that. It's very important. Liberia is a beautiful country. Beautiful country. And I'm going to give you a piece of what Liberia is like. A little history. Because we just celebrated our 176th independence. We're still in that mood. I'm going to give you that right now. Sit back and listen.
Diverse population with 16 ethnic enjoy a very stable political environment. Life in Liberia, city of Monrovia, history, people, lifestyle, traditions, and music. Liberia was established in 1822 as a haven for freed slaves from the Americas. Originally named Christopolis, the settlement was later renamed Monrovia in honor of American President James Monroe. Over time, Liberia developed from a colony into a commonwealth and gained independence in 1847. The colony was formerly known as Liberia, meaning the free land in Latin. Liberia is the only Black state in Africa that was never subjected to colonial rule and is Africa's oldest republic. Liberia is located along the coast of West Africa. It is bordered by the Atlantic Ocean to the southwest, Sierra Leone to the west, Guinea to the north, and Côte d'Ivoire to the east. Liberia is made up of 15 political subdivisions called counties. It has a population of around 5 million and covers an area of 43,000 square miles, or 111,369 kilometers square. Monrovia, the capital city of Liberia, is located on Cape Mesurado on the Atlantic coast, and as of the 2023 census, at 1,678,000 residents, home to 32% of Liberia's total population. Liberia is a multi-party republic and enjoy a very stable political environment. The 1986 Constitution, the head of state and government is the president, who is directly elected for a 6-year term. Members of the bicameral National Assembly, who serve 6-year terms in the House of Representatives and 9-year terms in the Senate, are also elected directly. The name of the current president of Liberia is George Apongwe, who is a former footballer. Liberia's first inhabitants were the Gola and Kissi peoples from North Central Africa, who arrived as early as the 4th century. They were joined later by the Kruan people moving in from the north and east. Liberia has a diverse population with 16 ethnic groups, including the Kpele, Bassa, Gio, Kru, Gribo, Mandingo, and more. The Kela people are the largest ethnic group. Polygamous marriages are common, and over 24 languages are spoken, with English being the official language. The Fanga dance is a traditional Liberian invocation to the earth and sky, possibly originating in Liberia or Sierra Leone. Liberia relies primarily on commodity exports, mainly rubber, iron ore, gold, and diamonds, as major sources of export earnings. The Liberian dollar is the official currency of the Republic of Liberia. However, the United States dollar is a legal tender in Liberia and is used alongside the Liberian dollar currency. Liberia,
folks, a nation that once upon a time lived, dwelled with pride in the community of nations. A nation, Liberia, a nation that many nations looked up to. Once upon a time. When are we going to turn the tide around? When are we going to turn the clock around? You can only turn the clock around at the ballot box. You can only do that by putting people with integrity in office. People that have love for country. People who have good character. People who will not steal. They are there. It's not that hard to detect someone. If someone is a rogue or a thief, it's not that difficult to detect. It's not that hard to know. Because in the first thing, when you're hiring someone for a position of that significance, you want to do background check, though. You want to do a complete background check. Folks, that's how you hire people. If you want the people to serve with integrity, you do a background check. You sit with them. You vet them. That is why we have the Senate. That arm of government is there to vet them. Irrespective of their political alienation, right? They all need to serve. They all are there as senators and lawmakers to hold the Constitution by vetting, by doing right, not putting people in power because someone is tied in or someone's a friend of the, line up with the presidency. That if they recommend someone to be vetted at the Senate, they just let them go, slide under the radar. You can't do that. Integrity institutions do not function like that. Integrity institutions do not function like that. The Senate's got out for recess. What's going to happen? What's happening? There are appointments that the President Weah just made few weeks ago, right after the independence celebration. Some of them were confirmed, some of them appointed. But what is the role of the Senate when the ruling establishment is in a majority? And instead, in as much you are in a majority, that tells you that you have to do even more than those who are in the opposition. Reason is you are laying a foundation. You are in a majority. You have the voice. You have the say at the end of the day. You rule. You vote in a majority on major decisions. And you are going to be held accountable. Why? Because you have the majority vote. And that is why our lawmakers who are in a majority, the ruling establishment, need to be careful how they pass people vying for positions when it comes to be confirmed. You can't just be on the opposition side, because you have to be on the side of Mama Liberia. If this is not in the best interest of the country, you don't have to vote for that person because the recommendation came from the judiciary. I mean, from the executive. No. You got to hold your standards. It is the institution, that body as a whole, that brings the credibility and the institution and pride to it. The way you run things in every institution, every area of form of government. Now, election officially starts tomorrow. What type of leader are you looking for? What are you going to do as election starts tomorrow? That is the message I will be preaching. That is the message. So I can drive it into the heads of people, anyone who will listen. What type of leader do you want 6 years from now? Out of the 20 leaders that are vying for that position, what do you see in each and every one of them? Integrity, character, accountability, all of that. What do you see? God-fearing? Because when someone is God-fearing in the first place, they are now going to steal people resources, the country's resources. These people they don't have the fear of God. If you have the fear of God in you and you are Christian or a different or religious person, you're not going to take something else that does not belong to you. That is the first fundamental principle, core principle, where it starts with your belief system. Where is your belief system? The people you have, the children that you support, that you send to school, that live in your house, if they steal from you, you are their father. Are you content? Are you happy? Do you punish them or not? If you punish them, yet you leave in the morning and go to work, and you steal from the coffers of the government, and you take something that does not belong to you, who are you? You're no different from the child who's trying to steal in your house. In fact, you are worse. You are worse than that child, because you're trying to establish integrity in your home, but you don't want to exercise that integrity in the public, where you are given due or responsibility to run. This is where our leaders are mistaken. Ask not what your country can do for you. Rather, what can you do for your country? Ask not what your country will do for you. Ask what you can do for your country. What are your plans? What are your visions? What are the visions of our leaders? Those vying for these positions. What type of integrity? What is their, forget the rhetorics. Forget the rhetorics. Because we're going to hear and see so much rhetorics. We're going to see so much giveaway. How can you just give so much away? So much stuff is coming from the government, taxpayers' money. Let me give you guys a common scene. You have a farm. I come onto your farm. I tell you, I say, let me take over your farm because I can farm better than you. I can farm quickly than you. But in taking over, while I'm running your farm, here is $500 just to augment the period that I'm going to run your farm. Sit, Papa, you too old, sit down, sit on the side. I've come, I've done my feasibility studies. I know what your farm is going to yield, what it's going to bring me. $500 is a piece in a bucket, just a drop in the bucket. I am fully aware of that. But you think it's something huge. It's something, it's a magnanimous gesture that I'm doing to you. Right? That's the mentality of our people. We get into power, and foreign investors come into the country. They see the resources of our country. They come with bogus contracts. Instead of us doing feasibility studies and knowing what we are getting into, because it is going to affect the country for a long haul, we don't. We're looking at what we can eat now. What's in it for me now? That's what we look at. So you are greedy, you go to work and sign this bogus contract. The investor goes to work and squander millions and millions and millions and millions. Nowhere close, nothing. What he gives you was just peanuts. And then he goes and manufactures the same products. He still recycles them. He manufactures them and he brings them back to us and sell them at exorbitant rate. And you end up buying them. At that time, the money he even gave you, the peanut change he's giving you, it's long gone. Folks, what are we doing as Africans? When are we going to rise up? When are we going to open our mind? When are we going to see that we have been fooled all these years? We have been led astray by the world powers that divide us. When are we going to see where we are heading, where our children are heading, where the destiny, where are we going as a people? Where are we going as a people? Is this a promised land? No. Liberia is a promised land. It's filled with milk and honey. But who's eating and drinking the milk and honey? It's not Liberians. It's not Liberians that are eating or drinking the milk and honey. It's foreigners. Foreigners are the one enjoying every fabric of our country. Yet while we live in foreign land, while we live in our own promised land, we do not enjoy the benefits of it. You go to Lebanese people's homes right now, foreigners, they have electricity. Whether the city power goes or not, they still have power. They have their backup generators or solar system installed. Because why? They have the money. These people in their country, where they came from, they are poor. They were nothing, but they came to Liberia. They became rich. Why? Because of the system of the way we set up our system of this brown envelope, bribery, not being honest with our people or our government. We sell our birthrights. This is what's happening. As government officials, the people that we elect to serve, they are selling the birthright of the nation. And the foreigners come into the country and they live the best of life. They drive the best of cars. They live in the best of homes. They enjoy the best of the scenery in the country. Liberians cleaning their floors, their shops, their stores that they run. Liberians are there bringing them coffee. You got a Lebanese man who is suffering in his country, or an Indian man who has nothing, or a Chinese who has nothing, and fought his way and came to Liberia. And now, because of the color they have, or of their accent, we give them credence for that. No. When are we going to learn? For the lack of knowledge, my people perish. That is why our people are struggling and suffering every step of the way. Folks, we cannot condone this. We cannot keep sitting idly and see everything is squandered, everything is gone. What's going to happen to my children, to your children, to our children's children? Because in Proverbs, in the Bible, it says, a wise man leaves an inheritance for his children's children. So what type of inheritance are we leaving for our children, for our grandchildren? What type of inheritance are we leaving to our children? If we cannot make sound decisions right now, if we cannot make decisions that will change the destiny of the nation around, if we cannot be honest to each other, if we cannot be open and honest, if we cannot run institutions with integrity, when are we going to turn things around for the better? When? Elections open tomorrow, and it will be in every community. Every politician will be at your door knocking with their sweet mouth, asking you to give them 6 years to steal. Are you going to do it? Or are you going to look in between the lines and say, this one is God-fearing? Because when you have the fear of God in you, either as a Muslim or as a Christian, as a religious person, when you have the fear of God in you, you will get into government position and not steal. And you will not take what doesn't belong to you. Because you know that stealing is forbidden. It is one of the commandments, thou shalt not steal. You cannot do that, folks. Thou shalt not steal. As I come to this, close to everybody want to be president. Everybody want to be president. So I'll play it. Since everybody want to become president, let me take a quick break. By Soniga.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am Soniga therefore. I'm glad of the great opportunity given me to introduce to you your president.
I don't want to become president. We still want to become president. Obi doesn't want to become president. President you see want to become president. Mr. Credit want to become president. Mr. Lalame want to become president. President, you will see you. Mr. Roro want to become president. Yeah, but now how the president business will be. We're suffering for some more. Mr. Lala want to become president. President, you see want to become president. Mr. become president. And young people will not agree. Let me tell you something. When they want to become president with Lala, they will come and say, I'm the president of the Republic of Liberia. I thank you people for introducing me as a president. Power the presence in me as a president of the Liberia, I'm going to make sure I will bring the red spread down.
I want a lot.
I'm going to go on the field president. I'm going to bring the desolate down. You know, he said, if you want to tell me, say, President Wade, tell money, you tell me, President, Ron take up the President, and I can say, Liberia will support you on the key president.
And so, my fellow Americans, ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country. My fellow citizens of the world, ask not what America will do for you, but what together we can do for the freedom of man.
What can we do all together for the freedom of man? Those were the words of former President John F. Kennedy. Our peace-loving people of the world, what are you asking? All of you that have been given the opportunity to serve your various countries around the globe, what are you doing to your people? Some of you are suppressing your people. Some of you are squandering the resources of your people. Some of you are happy just to suppress, just to see your people suffer. The same thing is happening in our country of Liberia. What is your role? What kind of individual are you? This life, you can have all the monies and all the riches and all the wealth in the world. When your time comes to leave it behind, you're going to leave it and go. And the people who didn't even suffer for it will enjoy it and eat it. So why is it that common piece of wisdom, we as Africans lose track of that? As in, life is only about people. How we serve people. How we serve our nation. How we serve those that we lead. What are we going to do as a people? What is it? The election starts tomorrow, officially. And because election starting tomorrow, somebody coming in 5 minutes from my 10 minutes from my show to be over. By the time they come in. What's up? Friends. Are you hearing me? Folks, this is what I'm talking about. We need to try to help in every way possible. A young man like me who realized that one day home is home. This is where I am going to retire. This is where I'm going to get old. As a result, I have traveled across the globe and have made friends. And I want those friends to come, and some of them are investors, to come and help improve the livelihood of our people while we work. We're not going to sell our resources to them, but just to give them the benefit. Those connections are necessary. Liberia, as a leader, we just want you to have an environment. We just need a safe environment that is secure, that is open, where you invest into the private sector. That's it. Where the justice system is working, irrespective of your background, irrespective of who you are. If the people know and build the confidence in the justice system that it is running, investors will have the audacity to take that risk to come. Folks, let me bring my boy on this. Welcome to the show, Prince. Welcome to the show. Are you there? Can you hear me? You're still in the dark. I cannot hear you. Are you there? Too bad for you. I can't hear you, my man. Somebody, Beto, Queen Ali, come on, star. Hola, come on, star.
Yeah, I'm not getting you clear. And the internet is not too clear.
Yeah, anyway, the show is about to be over. Anyway, you coming in so late. We got 5 minutes for the show to end. You got something to say?
The internet is kind of changing here, so I'm not, I guess.
I said I have 5 minutes for the show to end. You gotta have something to say before I take leave of you. Oh, there you go, folks. Let me get him up the screen and try to close the broadcast here. So, my message to you all, even as tomorrow we discuss the backyard politics where officially campaign begins tomorrow, we want to use this platform to enlighten the mind of our people, to point them in the right direction, as in the decisions that you are about to make are crucial, they're important, they are significant, and these are decisions that will change the course or the trajectory of the nation and our people. So, as I take leave of you, I want you all to realize, I want to play a little bit of these speeches by former presidents here in the U.S. So maybe that will help energize you. Let me see. I still have 5 minutes so I can give this guy a voice. Are you there? Are you there, Prince? Hello? Prince? He's not hearing me. Yeah, folks. So let me play this, please.
So first of all, let me assert my firm belief that the only thing we have to fear is fear itself. Nameless, unreasoning, unjustified terror, which paralyzes needed effort to convert retreat into advance.
Yesterday, December 7th, 1941, a date which will live in infamy. The United States of America was suddenly and deliberately attacked by naval and air forces of the Empire of Japan.
A short time ago, an American airplane dropped one bomb on Hiroshima and destroyed its usefulness to the enemy. That bomb has more power than 20,000 tons of TNT. The Japanese began the war from the air at Pearl Harbor. They have been repaid many-fold, and the end is not yet. With this bomb, we have now added a new and revolutionary increase in destruction to supplement the growing power of our armed forces.
We have been compelled to create a permanent armaments industry of vast proportions. In the councils of government, we must guard against the acquisition of unwarranted influence, whether sought or unsought, by the military-industrial complex. the potential for the disastrous rise of misplaced power exists and will persist. We must never let the weight of this combination endanger our liberties or democratic processes.
I do not believe that any of us would exchange places with any other people or any other generation. The energy, the faith, the devotion which we bring to this endeavor will guide our country and all who serve it. And the glow from that fire can truly light the world. And so, my fellow Americans, ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country. My fellow citizens of the world, ask not what America will do for you, but what together we can do for the freedom of man. And there are even a few who say that it's true that communism is an evil system, but it permits us to make economic progress. Lots thee not Berlin in common. Let them. All free men, wherever they may live, are citizens of Berlin. And therefore, as a free man, I take pride in the words, Ich bin ein Berliner.